Guys, this is Prop Firms 101. We're going to go over the basics with prop firms, understanding the leverage, the strategy, and mentality behind trading them, and also comparing firms and their different offers and rules. So let's get right into it. So this is the basics and groundwork for understanding prop firms. Essentially, what is prop firm? Traders pay an upfront cost to use a firm's capital. If they pass trading tests with the fake money, they get access to a real or simulated capital, or they're essentially able to get paid a percentage of the profit that they generate. This is usually between 80-20 or 90-10, meaning those are the percentage splits. So the trader gets 80% or the trader gets 90% while the firm takes the rest. The downside risk of this is that if they fail the test or fail to make a payout, a trader would lose the initial investment or the original cost of the account. So with the evaluation phase, they need to meet a profit target goal. Then they get transitioned to the funded phase, where rules are typically stricter, and from there they can get paid. And again, this is the industry standard 80-20 or 90-10. And the best firms right now in terms of promotions and the kind of rules they have would be My Funded Futures, Take Profit Trader, Alpha, and Apex Trader Funding. And I'll discuss the benefits of each firm, prop firm. So why do we even trade with them as opposed to using our own money? So the main benefit is the low startup cost and entry barriers. So you can purchase an account on average for less than $200. Usually, the current offers right now is around $100, and with that, you have access to leverage and the ability to trade as if you had more capital. For example, if you funded a futures account with $100, you can only trade one micro Nasdaq contract. But if you bought a 50K eval with any prop firm, you might be able to have access to 5 NQ contracts, meaning that the prop firm you get 50x the leverage that you would with a live account, which is huge. Another benefit is the scalability. So with Apex, you can have up to 20 accounts and the potential to withdraw on a 50K account times 20, you can withdraw 40K at every payout period, which means every 8 days you can withdraw 40K, which is insane. Another firm like Take Profit Trader, there is no payout cap, but you can trade 5 accounts and you get payouts on day one. So the cons, so not everything obviously is sunshine and rainbows. So while prop firms are really good for the money, you need to remember that the statistic that 99% of traders fail, and that these firms are making money from this statistic. So there are rules like the consistency, trailing drawdown, scaling rules, and gradual access to leverage that help protect the firm at the cost of the consumer or trader. With all this being said, it is very possible to get payouts and become profitable, but you have to treat trading with the prop firm like it's a game. You need to master your strategy, pick the right firms, and exploit them. So we're at the point where you need to pick the firm. It really depends where you are in your trading journey. So if you're a beginner and you haven't made money yet, you should be looking for certain firms with certain rules. And the same thing, if you're looking to scale and start generating more profits once you're more advanced, you need to be looking for certain things. So for beginners, the most important thing to look for is the low cost, the payout policies, firm reputation, and end of day drawdown. So the goal is to keep your expenses low while you're learning how to trade firms and eventually inch your way to a payout to transition to other firms. What's not important is contract scaling, the number of accounts you can have. You're looking to essentially learn the basics of trading, keep your cost low because that's the number one thing that kills beginner traders is having a high costs, meaning you're buying a lot of funded accounts, you're blowing them, you're racking up thousands of dollars in losses without a payout. So you're looking to just have 1 or 2 accounts and gradually get to a payout. But the main thing is building the good habits. So for beginners, I would recommend Alpha Futures. They currently have the Zero Plan, which has an all-in cost of $100 using code OBI. So they have an end-of-day drawdown and a daily loss limit. These are good rules to instill good habits for beginners. It protects you basically from yourself. Meaning, if you lose a certain amount, I think it is $1,000. That's the daily loss guard. If you lose $1,000 on one day, they stop you from trading for that day, and you can resume trading the next day. On the funded, there is a consistency rule, meaning your largest day can't be more than, I think, 40% of total profits, which shouldn't be a problem if you're a beginner. They have a 90% profit split, and they're very reputable, so there's no worry of not getting paid out. So another good firm is My Funded Futures' core account. You can pay around $69 to $77 using code NADY, and what you get is a valuation that has end of day drawdown. And the main rule is there's 50% consistency, meaning you can't pass it in one day. You need to have minimum 2 trading days. And once you're on the funded account, you can get an 80% profit split on up to $1,000 every payout cycle. And the payout cycle is 5 minimum winning trading days. And another benefit of My Funded is they have instant payouts once you request them. You can get them in milliseconds. So the mentality when you're training firms as a beginner is very different compared to any other point in the journey. Ultimately, you're trying to figure out the rules and build consistency in your routine, and you want to control the greed and come to peace with the fact that you're not going to make a lot of money right away. You're in the learning phase, and the goal is to keep accounts alive and maybe have one payout every few weeks, every month or so, if you can. But you're not going to have a six-figure month on a prop firm like My Funded Futures or Alpha, where you get caps on request and the maximum allocation is low. So you can you're limited here on Alpha Futures. You can only withdraw 15,000 or 1,500 per payout cycle. So you can have maximum $6,000 a month on one account, which which is a lot, but it's not much compared to other firms. And you need to prioritize working towards that payout, and you want to prioritize being paid as opposed to being right. So what that means is if you're 4 out of 5 trading days secured and you need one more winning trading day on an alpha account, let's say you're up $300, but it hasn't hit full TP yet, or you haven't taken any partials. If you let that trade go red, and that puts you red on the day, you just delayed a payout, you screwed yourself out of the payout. So you're not trying to go for screenshots or to be right, to top tick, bottom tick. You just want to prioritize the payout. So for more advanced traders, what you're looking for is completely different in terms of rules and features in a prop firm. So what's important is the account limits, sorry, meaning how many accounts can you have at a time, what are the consistency rules, what is the max payout per cycle, and how long does it take to fully request the balance. So what's no longer important is looking for the cheapest firm or quickest, cheapest firm to get funded. You're now looking for the balance of rules. So you need to remember that the prop firms are a business and there's no perfect option. So there'll always be trade-offs with going with certain firms, and no one firm will have the most perfect rules. So you need to figure out which one fits your personality type. By far, the best prop firm for scaling is going to be Apex. If you use code OBI, when buying, you can get evals for $20 to $40, and then the lifetime activation fee is going to be $140, and you can have up to 20 PAs, which is the largest in the industry by far. And there are some rules that you should know about, such as the 30% consistency rule, the safety net rule, meaning you need to make a certain amount above the buffer in order to be eligible for a payout in the beginning. Then after your sixth payout, you can withdraw everything. And you have the potential to withdraw 40K per payout cycle in the beginning, which is crazy. And if you have a profitable system and don't blow accounts crazy, meaning you can control yourself, your emotions, Apex is the best option to go to the next level. So another option is going to be Take Profit Trader, which is similar to Apex. They have an all-in cost of $102 using code NADY, and for the evaluation, there's a 50% consistency rule and minimum 5 days in order to pass. Meaning you can you can get $1,500 on the first day, $1,500 on the second day, and if you just trade one micro contract for the next 3 days, you're going to get funded account on the night of the fifth day. And for the funded, you can have maximum 5 pro accounts, meaning 5 funded accounts. But with those accounts, you can take payouts from day one, meaning if you receive the funded and you make a profit of $4,000 on a 50K account, you can withdraw you can withdraw $2,000 above the buffer at a 80-20% profit split, meaning you keep 80%. And based on your performance on these accounts, you can get moved to live, or it's called Pro Plus, where there's no more trailing drawdown, and the profit split is 90-10, which is great. So now the mentality, how to think about trading to scale. So the mentality is going to be completely different. Um, Here, you now know your system works, and your goal is to work every day to religiously follow your system. So there's no more cheeky, over leveraged Asia trades just to log the day. Instead, you're trying to strictly trade your model and preventing any sort of blow up. So let's say you're getting obliterated at open on a given day for $400 to $500 loss. You're not trying to revenge trade to get back to break even or small profit. You're going to close the charts, take a break, and reset for the next day. You're not looking to put yourself in low probability conditions or put yourself in a position where you're trading with emotion. You're only looking to trade high probability setups because you don't want to risk your capital on shitty setups. You want to minimize your downside risk, meaning you're going to be taking on 20 accounts, 10 accounts, you're going to size down 2 to 5 MNQ, and let's say you have a $300 day across 20 Apex accounts. That's $6,000 profit. So the goal in this is to keep the accounts alive, reduce size, and capture larger moves with runners. You want to stack base hits and have the account for months so you can reach the unlimited withdrawal on Apex, for example. And this is the end, guys. If you guys have any questions about basics of prop firms, um, there's going to be a channel in the Discord that answers all your questions, and the links are below. All right, have a good one, guys.